All right, welcome everyone. I'm so glad you're here for this explainer. Imagine, just for a second, the sheer complexity of building and running an entire city completely from scratch. I mean, it's not just about pouring concrete, right? It's about synchronizing thousands of moving parts so they all function as one living, breathing entity. Today, we're going to decode exactly how a city attempts to pull that off, and we'll be using the Mangaung 2023-2024 Integrated Departmental Planning document as our guide. Now I know, don't let that bureaucratic title scare you off. We're going to dive right into this master blueprint and make sense of the whole shebang.
So think about this. How does a city coordinate something as gritty and immediate as fixing a ruptured sewage pipe with something as high-level and long-term as attracting millions in global economic investment? Well, often the absolute biggest enemy of a functioning city is the silo effect. You know, where the water department doesn't really talk to the road department, and the economic development team, well, they're off doing their own separate thing. If departments operate in these isolated silos, the whole structure starts to crack. And that is exactly why a massive, unified blueprint is absolutely essential. And that brings us to the ultimate solution: integrated departmental planning, or what we'll just call the IDP. Basically, it's the process of coordinating all those diverse municipal functions into one unified strategic direction. So the really crucial point here is that this isn't just some wish list. It is the foundational blueprint that literally forces every single municipal function, every department, every manager, every rand spent, to face the exact same direction and work toward the exact same strategic goals. To make sense of this whole framework, we'll break it down into 5 quick steps. First, the Unified City Blueprint. Second, the 5 pillars of performance. Third, the technical blueprints. Fourth, how strategy drives the budget, and finally, aligning the moving parts. Let's get into it. Starting with Section 1, the Unified City Blueprint. This is all about laying the foundation for a coordinated municipality. Moving on to Section 2, 5 pillars of performance. These are essentially the load-bearing structures of the city. So, the IDP takes the sheer chaos of running a municipality and categorizes it cleanly into 5 of these load-bearing pillars. First up, basic service delivery and infrastructure. This is the stuff you see every single day: housing, electricity, solid waste, water, and, fixing those potholes. Next is local economic development. This pillar is focused entirely on boosting the economy and making sure rural development isn't left behind. Third is financial viability. Because, let's be real, without a sound, funded budget, absolutely nothing else happens. Fourth, we have good governance and public participation. Driven largely by the Office of the City Manager, this handles internal audits, risk management, and actually talking to the community. And finally, the 5th pillar is institutional development and organizational transformation. This is the internal machinery, the macro-organizational structure, and human resources. Basically, every single project in the city must fit perfectly into one of these 5 pillars. All right, Section 3, the technical blueprints, or, as it's often called, nesting the sectoral plans. This right here is how integration is actually achieved on a technical level. Imagine a house. You have the IDP acting as the high-level strategic master vision, the blueprint for the whole house. But nested perfectly within it are the sectoral plans. These are hyper-specific technical targets created by individual departments, kind of like the blueprints for specific rooms. The magic really happens when these technical plans are fully integrated into that main vision. For example, annexers like the Water Services Development Plan or the Integrated Waste Management Plan, they have very specific engineering and service targets. By nesting them right into the IDP, the city guarantees that those specific targets are totally harmonized with the municipality's overall vision and budget. Which brings us to Section 4, strategy drives the budget. In our house metaphor, this is where we secure the building materials. Strategy drives the budget. I really want to emphasize that because this right here is the absolute core philosophy of the municipality's financial planning. It means you don't just look at how much money you have and arbitrarily decide how to spend it. Nope. Instead, the developmental needs of the community and the overarching strategy come first. Those strategic needs actively dictate where every single rand is assigned. Let's trace exactly how a community need becomes reality through what the document actually calls a results chain. Step 1. A specific strategic need is identified by a department. Simple enough. Step 2, that need is converted into actual rands and cents through a financial mechanism called the Medium-Term Revenue and Expenditure Framework. That's a mouthful, so they just call it the MTREF. Step 3, now that the money is allocated, the progress has to be tracked.
How? By turning it into specific, measurable output indicators listed in the Service Delivery and Budget Implementation Plan, the SDBIP. So a high-level goal for our, say, youth development becomes a fully funded, measurable output, like building 3 new playgrounds this fiscal year. You can literally trace the strategy all the way down to the ground. And finally, Section 5, aligning the moving parts. This is all about enforcing the municipal building code. So to enforce this alignment internally, the city relies on the Spatial Development Framework and a technical IGR forum, which stands for Intergovernmental Relations. The core purpose here is to make sure different departments aren't just tripping over each other. And crucially, it ensures that the plan aligns with rural development so previously excluded areas actually get equitable growth. But, a city doesn't exist in a vacuum. Externally, alignment is maintained through the district development model, often known as the One Plan. This critical mechanism connects the city's strategy directly upward, making absolutely sure it meshes seamlessly with national and provincial government priorities. And standing above all of this is Circular 88. Think of this as the ultimate regulatory inspector from the National Treasury. Its job is to rationalize reporting requirements. See, in the past, different departments might have measured success in completely different ways, which obviously created total chaos. Circular 88 aligns all planning and reporting instruments across all metro departments. It basically forces everyone to use a uniform set of performance indicators, ensuring that every single department speaks the exact same reporting language. So we've unpacked the master blueprint. The structures, the pillars, the nested plans, and the rigorous alignment mechanisms. It is a perfectly structured, highly technical framework. But I want to read you with a bit of a provocative thought. Does this massive, meticulously organized blueprint actually match your community's aspirations? When you look at the real-world projects happening, or maybe not happening, in your specific ward, do you see this unified vision coming to life on the ground? It's definitely a question worth asking as we continue to learn how our cities are built and run. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep asking those big questions, and I'll catch you next time.